How can one explain that a father took the fall and paid for a crime he did not commit, so that his 11-year-old daughter could live again, but it became 11 years of love and life taken away from him? It all started 11 years ago when what looked like a rampage in the neighborhood on this fateful day. Felix found himself at the scene of the civil unrest that got Mary, his wife, worried. At that time, Mary was 8 months pregnant, but she found the strength to save her husband. At the moment, this was the only way she could stop a man who was at the verge of strangling her husband, but she killed him. Mary had become a murderer before the eyes of the public. She must suffer the consequences. But to Felix, it was not just his lovely wife to suffer the consequences, but his unborn child. So he took the fall. He carried her cross so that his family will live again. Felix was sentenced to a life imprisonment for a crime he knew nothing about. The question now is, would you have done the same? Life wouldn't stop because Felix went to jail. Mary was at the verge of delivering, and with the help of Uju, her neighbor, she gave birth to a baby girl. Mary brought his child to the prison. Felix saw that it was good and called her Victory. He begged Mary to be strong for the sake of their daughter and raise her in a godly way. I can tell you that in all you do, marry a good woman. And if not for yourself, but for the sake of your unborn children, because you may not know what may befall you. Mary single-handedly took care of little Victory. She did menial jobs just to survive. At this point, no one will care about you and the pains you pass through. If Felix had protected his family instead of trying to prove himself on that fateful day, Mary wouldn't have found herself here. So, in all you do, take care of yourself first, because no one cares in the end. She visited him from time to time and swore that she would wait for him until life smiled at him once again. And that was the last of her. 3 years after Felix was sent to prison, Mary moved on when she found Devy. The lovers had been together for 8 years now. Victory grew into a beautiful young girl. It was her first day into high school at the age of 11. But, to be honest, a lifetime imprisonment is like death. No matter how chaste a woman can be, she shouldn't be blamed if she decided to move on. Life just happened. Davy's mother came from the village to visit her son. She came for a mission that her son finds a wife before she leaves her son's house. She was hostile to Mary at the very first minute she came inside. It's okay for every mother to protect her child's interest. Mary has been in a relationship for 8 years with her son, and she has rejected his proposals several times of getting married to him. Devy's mother sees her as a who is using her son to raise her child as a single mother. Mary and her daughter were talking about her first day experience in school when Grandma walked in. She told them to get out. She believes Mary has been cooking love portions to her son that has made him fall deeply in love with her, so she has come to take over the kitchen. That evening, she prepared a nice meal for her son. He knew his mother better when she did nice things like this. Grandma did not hesitate to bring up the issue again, that her son is not getting younger any longer to get a wife. Devy defended his wife because he loves her, but each and every time he said nice things about her, she got angry and told him that over her dead body will she watch him make such a mistake. Victory also calls him father. Grandma came to the living room to ask her son to go and help her fix the air conditioner in her room. The little girl interfered in the adults' conversation over a little argument about fixing the air conditioner after he was done. This led to Grandma condescending on the little girl and called her a Mary may accept all Grandma throws at her, but not to her daughter. Victory told her what happened when she went out. Devy's mother never felt remorseful over what she said, so far as wouldn't leave her son's house. Mary felt humiliated with the insults from his mother, so she was going to leave for good. But to Devy, he had come too far after 8 years to quit now, just because of his mother. Grandma saw that her shouting wasn't changing anything, so she brought in another woman into her son's house. Charisma is a childhood friend to Devy when his mother recalled him of the family she came from. To Grandma, she came to the city to look for a job, so she invited her over without her son's permission. Mary understood what Grandma was up to. Devy had to talk to her if she was okay with the lady's sudden visit, and if she wasn't, he would send her out. But Mary told him that she is fine with whatever comes. The thoughts about why Mary had been rejecting his proposal kept ringing in his head. Mary saw how disturbed he was when she woke up. She asked him what the problem was. Devy was aware about the man in her life, but what Mary never told him was his whereabouts. He was beginning to think that his mother was right, so he left her to go sleep in the living room. He sat there alone when Charisma came to meet him. Grandma had initially asked Charisma to marry her son, so she got her chance as they slept together on the couch until the following morning. Mary came to the living room to find her man already in the arms of another woman, so she asked him to put the ring on her finger the moment he came inside. This was all Charisma's idea to make her feel jealous, and if she loves him, she will accept his proposal. Devy was so happy that after 8 years of trial, she came in and gave him the best tip that can make any woman fall for a man. Devy and Charisma never had anything together that night. He promised her a job in his firm and one of his apartments to stay in as a reward for being a good woman. Devy and Mary broke the news to his mother that they were getting married. Grandma had never hated Mary even as a single mother. She only had the interest of her son in mind to find a good wife for him after 8 good years of rejection from Mary. Now that her mission was accomplished, she told her son that she will be leaving the following day to go and tell her friends and family, and also begin preparations for her son's wedding. And when everything seems to become a new beginning for Devy and Mary, Felix shows up. Uju went aghast at the sight of the man who everyone thought was dead. Felix was granted a presidential pardon for good behavior while serving the prison. For 8 good years, no one came to visit as he walked through the journey of life alone. Now, he is back. The sight of his beautiful daughter gave him hope. Victory also felt the connection the moment she saw him. She asked him how she could help him until Mary came to the door. All this while Mary rejected Devy's proposal was because she hoped that one day Felix will show up, and just at the 11th hour after 11 years of giving up, Felix shows up. The question is, will you blame this lady for everything that had happened? Devy noticed her mood for the last 2 days. He wanted her to talk to him if she had anything bothering her. Mary felt like telling him will reduce the burden on her, but what if it became the beginning of her problem? Felix never relented. This time it was Devy who answered the door. Felix introduced himself as the husband to Mary. At that time, she wasn't around with her daughter, so Devy welcomed him inside. The only man Victory calls father is Devy. Felix sat and watched his daughter call another man father without even having an idea of who he was. Devy knew that there was a man in her life, but what he never knew was that she was once married. He told her to go down to talk to him while he angrily went out. Victory felt the compassion in her to the stranger, like she knew him before. Mary came out to have a word with him. She apologized for everything, for not coming around anymore because whenever she sees him, something in her dies because he paid for a crime that he never committed. So she stopped if she was going to remain strong for their daughter. Devy came back home and tried to ignore her when she welcomed him. She apologized and told him that she was going to tell him before Felix appeared. Devy told her that she is wicked and selfish for keeping something as sacred as this to herself. It was obvious now that he was going to quit the relationship and walked out on her. Felix felt deep pains whenever he thought about his family, how good-looking they were without his presence. These were the prayers he prayed for while he was in prison. Now that his prayers are answered, his heart aches that he has lost them to the good life of a rich man. Mary thought the right thing to do was to bring Victory to her father. She told her daughter that Felix is her father. This was a hard fact for the little girl to digest at the moment, so she left. Mary ran after her daughter to tell her the sacrifices her father made for her. He took the fall so that she may live, and it wasn't his wish that he was absent. Victory never listened to all her mother had to say, so they returned home. Devy wanted to know what she was hoping to gain by taking his daughter to a man who was absent in her life. To Mary, it was the right thing she did by not depriving a man of his daughter. Devy told her that she will legally divorce him so that they could get married, but this will be a tough decision for Mary to make at a time like this. Victory also wants to hear from the man she calls a father, to know who actually is her father. Devy felt her pains that after 11 years, she just realized that the man she so much loves is not her father. He told her that he is her father, but unfortunately, he is not her biological father. This really hurt her, but sadly, she can't escape her reality. Felix kept coming back, but this time he was not welcomed. Felix also wants his family back to give them a life to live again, but life has a way of making the years you lost become the gain of someone else. Felix wouldn't give up. He tried to make Devy understand the sacrifices he made yesterday for the family he fell in love with today when Mary and her daughter came back. Victory gave him a chance to explain why he left her and her mother. He explained how it all happened. Devy never heard the whole story until this day of how he took the fall for her. At this point, he wasn't sure of the woman standing in front of him with so much pretense. Days later, Victory visited her father. She was convinced now that he is a good man. Felix was happy that he had won the heart of his daughter. Now he wants his wife back. He has missed her so much and wants her to come back. He knows that she has fallen out of love with him, but she is still his legally married wife. Mary can't betray the man who waited for her for a good 8 years, so she took her daughter and left him. She still recalled everything he told her. When she looks at her front, there are many reasons why she should accept him back. But when she looks back, there is a man who made her feel like a woman again after the fall of man. He came again. Mary happens to be the only one at home. He believes that it was only a matter of time for her to accept him back. Devy came into him touching his woman. He was already tired of seeing this man in his house. He gave him a punch on his face and asked him to leave his woman alone. Felix was going to leave, but he wants Devy to know that Mary is still his legally married wife, and Victory is his daughter. The truth is that it is not he who brings life into this world is blood, but he who gives life a reason to live again and be happy is blood. Devy has every reason to lament because he deserves to be the father of her child after 8 years of taking the responsibility of a father. The question is, what would you have done if you were in her shoes? Mary was going to take one last bold step to put an end to this. Mary's decision was to stay with Devy. This has nothing to do with his riches, but for the fact that a man stood by her when her world almost crumbled. She asked him to have a check of 40 million naira to start his life all over again, and promised that he can see his daughter anytime he wanted also. Felix understood her dilemma that life shouldn't have waited for them while he was in prison. He accepted the check and forgave her. The truth is that love does not begin and end the way we seem to think it does. Love is a battle. Love is war. Love is growing up. And finally, finding love is peace. Thanks for watching this movie recap. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we're bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.